Today on the Sports Trigger, we're going to discuss NFL preseason and all the injuries that keep happening. Travis, are you ready to get started today?
Go long, Jared.
What's up, Sports Trigger fans? Today we're here to discuss the NFL preseason injuries. Travis, most notable, or most note so far, you have the Edelman, Spencer Ware injuries. So what are your thoughts on the preseason in general and injuries that happened during them?
I've definitely heard a lot of rumors going around, or I shouldn't say rumors, but a lot of talk, and it's been, with several different ex-players, players, obviously the media, and it's not even just this year, but it's been the past couple of years easily, and it's tough because you want those players to get game repetition, obviously, whether it's going to be a limited time, as we're accustomed to seeing starters only get limited time playing throughout the 4 games. But I feel like it's something to where they need to cut back on. I don't know what needs to take place. It would be great to where they could either take away one preseason game, or I don't know if it's just a case to where coaches don't play starters at all, because throughout the weeks leading up to preseason games, they have joint practices. So in a way, you can almost say that's just as good as a preseason game for those starters getting some playing time and some experience. So obviously it's more so for the rookies and those players that are on the line, whether they're going to cut or not.
Wait
I don't know.
Wait, how are you going to cut back? That's my thing. People keep saying, let's cut back games, let's cut back games. The starters play maybe one series throughout the first 2 games, and then they start to play a little more game 3, game 4, so on and so forth. So in my mind, you have the option of not playing the starters at all. I mean, do starters actually need the preseason? Do they? I mean, I don't know. Or, if they're saying we just need a few reps, then have a few games for those players who are fighting for a roster spot to dig it out. But why not have an agreement where it's among all teams, okay, only the starters are going to play this series and this series in the first or second game. And that's all. So then you don't have these guys who are fighting for spots out there diving at knees trying to make plays. Like, there is no reason why your starter should be out on the field when the other team's defensive players or other team's offensive players, offensive line, whoever it is, are out there battling for a spot. It's going to happen. If I tell you, okay, these next few games, this is going to decide if you're going to make it in the NFL or not. You're going to go balls to the wall. You're going to go out there trying to make every play that you can. It doesn't matter how it's made. You're not worried about injuring another player or not. You're worried about making the play, getting on the team, getting paid. That's what it's like. So
and when you look at it too, it really comes down to mindset, right? So you have those players that you're discussing that are playing for their career, if they will, or their livelihood to even make a roster, and they're, like you said, they're going all in. They're going for, they want to show what they can do, versus these other players who've already made the roster, they're stars, so on and so forth. They just want to get some reps in. So, that really plays into what you're saying, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So let's design a system where the starters are out there when the other team has some players in there that are vying for positions. It's very simple. So if you want to cut back, okay, well, first ask the starters, do you guys need these reps? Is this actually needed? If the answer is no, then okay, we can cut back a few games, or just don't play your starters in preseason. That's your choice. Or if the starters say, yes, I need some reps, how many reps? How much game time? Do you need a full game? Do we really need these full games? Okay, we need a few reps. Okay, starters get to play on this possession window and this possession window, and that's it. Outside of that, you have to play your backups or people vying for positions. Just set it up like that, and I think that would probably bring the injuries down in preseason a lot. You're still going to have the issues of somebody running out on a cut or, just falling just right. I mean, injuries happen everywhere. Injuries happen in practice. Injuries happen in games. So you're never going to actually 100% be able to prevent it. But if you're trying to take it away from preseason games as much as possible, then you have to come up with a system like that. Because the worst thing ever is to see a guy, a first-year player or a guy who's on the chopping blocks, go in, hurt somebody's knee, and then everybody's like, oh, he's a dirty player. Oh, he doesn't deserve to be in the NFL, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he hurt, OBJ or whoever. And it's like, no, he went in for, as long as he's going in for a legit play, then that's fine. He's just going 100%. You're going to have a lot more injuries when one guy's going 110% versus the other guy's just running through the motions. It's just going to happen that way.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why Bill Belichick is so smart, because as I mentioned, they have the inter-practice scrimmages between the teams leading up to preseason, and from what I heard, he schedules 4, so that'd be for every single preseason game, right? So he has that throughout the week. So the way I take it is that he has obviously his starters going against the Bucs starters or however it is they have it set up. And then when it comes game time, obviously he doesn't feel he has to play his starters as much. He can put in the other guys that don't get as much playing time. You actually throw them under the lights who haven't been under the lights to where they can experience that, see how they react, and obviously let them, go out there and prove themselves versus, you don't have a inter-practice scrimmage throughout the week, and then, some coaches still want to see how certain starters are going to do or project, if you will. And then obviously that puts those players at risk versus you already know, okay, they've got their reps in this week. They're looking good because they played against another team, not just against our defense who are going to, not be as brutal or physical, if you will. So I definitely feel like that would be something that could definitely help benefit as long as the teams work together, obviously.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the way the Patriots go because those small things are the things that make Belichick better. Better at evaluating players, better at getting rid of them before, they ask for big contracts, not getting as many people injured as, Edelman, it happens, right? So he'll deal with it. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with it this year. Obviously they have, Cooks, so I don't think they're going to be as hurting as, a lot of people think. And they're always good at plugging in another receiver and playing as well. Not to say Edelman's, a
easily replaceable.
Yeah, right. He's not. But, if you want a good blueprint of ways to maximize your talent and in an efficient way, even in the preseason, look at the organizations that are doing it well. Not only in football, basketball, wherever you want to look. Look at the good organizations, and there's a reason why a lot of teams start following those blueprints later on in football, basketball, whatever. So, with that being said, thanks a lot for joining us on the Sports Trigger again, and until next time.